The Mavericks are having a very rough time. To put this into perspective, we'd have to take it back a few years. In early 2019, the Dallas Mavericks traded for Kristaps Porzingis by sending 2 first-round picks and a promising young player at the time in Dennis Smith Jr. over to the Knicks. Their plan was to unite one of the best young players in the league in Kristaps Porzingis with a future superstar in Luka Doncic. At the time, this trade was seen as a severely one-sided trade and looked like the Knicks got robbed. But looking back at it in 2021, it's looking like the Knicks won this trade. One of the biggest reasons they traded Porzingis was to free some cap space. With this cap space, they would go on to sign Julius Randle and Marcus Morris. Julius Randle was turned into an all-star, putting up 23 and 11 this year. And Marcus Morris was shopped for a pick that would later go on to be Immanuel Quickley. So now if you look at it in hindsight, the Knicks got Julius Randle, Immanuel Quickley, and 2 first-round picks for Porzingis. One of those picks is projected to be a lottery pick this season due to the Mavericks' struggles this year. So then if you look at it on the Mavs side, they got a injury-prone Kristaps Porzingis who is rumored to be on the trade block right now. And now we can all see how the Knicks won this trade, especially considering that the Knicks could even have 2 picks in the lottery this season. So now looking at the standings, the Knicks are a top 5 seed in the East and the Mavericks are struggling to make the play-in tournament. And it doesn't help the Mavericks' case that the player that they just traded all these assets for can't stay healthy and is reportedly on the trade block right now. A team that I saw a lot of people talk about for a Porzingis move was the Warriors. The trade would probably be centered around Andrew Wiggins. And if I'm the Warriors at this point, I'm not accepting that because Kristaps is too much of a risk at this point and I'd rather just be left with Wiggins. They could also center a deal around Kelly Oubre and Wiseman, and once again, if I'm the Warriors, I'm not accepting this. Kelly Oubre has been playing too well for the Warriors to give him up lately, and Wiseman is a lot younger, has more upside, and is on a way cheaper contract than Porzingis. So if I'm the Warriors, I don't really see a point in trying to trade for Porzingis. Another team that I saw rumors about was the Boston Celtics. The trade would consist of Kemba Walker, Daniel Tice, and a second for Porzingis and Dwight Powell. This trade actually makes some sense because of Kemba Walker's struggles, and this would give the Celtics the center they need along with some much-needed bench depth. But the Mavericks would probably want a first-round pick, and I doubt that Danny Ainge would give into that. But then again, you're betting on Porzingis to be healthy, and that's a risk. The last and final one I can think of is John Collins and Clint Capella for Porzingis. Porzingis at his best is probably better than John Collins at his best, but at this point I'd rather take the one that I know is going to be healthy. And on top of that, Clint Capella has been playing too well to give up this season. So if I'm the Hawks, I would definitely decline here. And overall, I doubt that Porzingis will get traded at the deadline, but if he does, I think the most likely one would be Boston. Moving on to the moves they made last offseason, they weren't good. They traded a lethal shooter in Seth Curry for Josh Richardson. Seth Curry's almost better in every aspect. He'll give you more points per game, better efficiency, and better three-point shooting than Josh Richardson. He will also go with the flow of the offense and not disrupt it like Josh Richardson. Because of Josh Richardson's limitations to his three-point shot, the Mavericks aren't able to have as lethal of an offense as they did last season. And even Seth Curry himself said that the Mavericks trading him, quote-unquote, was a bad decision. And moving on from that, the Mavericks already have a really big problem in their defense. They are 29th in the league in defensive rating currently, and they have a similar problem to the Celtics where there's a lack of intensity on the defensive end. They seem to have a hard time getting around screens and even disrupting their opponent's shots. They also struggle on offense, specifically from 3. They are currently the 8th worst shooting team in the league from 3. And now it comes back to, again, why did they trade Seth Curry for Josh Richardson? So now moving on from that, Luka's obviously going to get his max contract next offseason. And if things keep going like this in Dallas, Luka might want to sign with another team. It might play out like the Giannis situation where the team is going to have to convince him to stay. Whether that would be through trades, the draft, or verbally, they're going to have to convince him. In conclusion, the Dallas Mavericks lost the Porzingis trade, made multiple questionable front office decisions, and have a major lack of intensity right now. And all of this might cause them to lose a generational talent in Luka Doncic. This was the harsh truth about the Dallas Mavericks.
Like, yeah, get in there, baby. You know me, hit you anywhere, baby. Know she gon' do whatever I say. I can piss in the cup, call it lemonade, baby. Let that bitch off, I'm a renegade, baby. I'ma get out of there, I ain't feeling that. Nigga run up on me with his cell phone, now they gon' fuck around down the internet. Fuck, kill him on IG Live. Let the whole world see the nigga die. Yeah, shout out to Spot him, we got him.